Welcome to lecture number 96. This is historical topic 8.13, the environment and natural resources from 1968 to 1980. The theme is geography and the environment. The learning objective is to explain how and why policies related to the environment developed and changed from 1968 to 1980. The first of two key concepts as ideological, military, and economic concerns shaped U.S. involvement in the Middle East, with several oil crises in the region eventually sparking attempts at creating a national energy policy. The key concept is referring to the 1973 OPEC embargo. The United States helped Israel in the 1973 Yom Kippur War against its Arab neighbors. The Arab neighbors, which were a majority of the oil-producing and exporting countries, or OPEC, decided to implement an embargo on the United States. It created a gas shortage in the US and it increased the price of gasoline. Since gasoline prices were higher, other prices went up as well, creating inflation. Consumers start to become conscious of gas mileage, and the American car industry, which had not been conscious of their fuel economy, start to lose sales to Japanese car makers. The US auto industry was focused on muscle cars because they were loud and they were really fast. Japanese-made cars were smaller and more gas efficient. The U.S. government also passed a new speed limit law that lowered the speed limit to 55 miles an hour on federal highways to try and conserve gasoline. The oil crises forced the United States to adopt measures which would have made them self-sufficient in their energy policy. In the 1970s, they looked towards nuclear power. However, it grows very unpopular after 1979's 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant meltdown near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The meltdown was contained and was nowhere as bad as the Chernobyl meltdown that happened in 1986 in the Soviet Union, but the damage was done. The second key concept says, environmental problems and accidents led to the growing environmental movement that aimed to use legislative and public efforts to combat pollution and protect natural resources. The federal government also established new environmental programs and regulations. The use of pesticides and their impact on surrounding ecosystems was the topic of Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. Pesticides are chemicals that farmers use on their crops to kill any vermin from ruining their crop yield. Those pesticides sometimes contain carcinogens and can hurt the people and animals who live nearby since they're sprayed on the fields by aircraft. Any food ingested made with crops treated with certain pesticides were also found to be harmful. Finally, the pesticides could harm surrounding ecosystems if it was carried through runoff. The Cuyahoga River in Ohio was one of the most polluted rivers in the country. There was a large oil slick in the river from all the polluting and from all the waste that was dumped into it. It caught fire on more than one occasion. Yes, this was a case of a river catching fire. It was a wake-up call for the people in Ohio that their rivers were part of the natural resources that they relied on and that they needed to look after them. The Love Canal disaster concerns a neighborhood and school in New York that were built on top of a toxic waste site. Harmful agents leaked into the soil and waste after a large rainfall. It made people sick and burnt their skin, caused birth defects and miscarriages. The response to this was to establish a superfund. Whenever polluting companies broke the law because they polluted, any penalties that they paid went into a large superfund. Any future ecological disaster that needed to be cleaned up would use the superfund funds to pay for the cleanup. The environmental movement was very successful at getting legislation passed. For example, the Wilderness Act was passed in 1964, and the Environmental Protection Agency was created in 1970 as a result of the Clean Air Act. The EPA was an executive agency that was supposed to enforce the environmental legislation that Congress passed. They could also adopt their own rules to limit the amount of negative impact Americans had on the environment. Earth Day was established in 1970 as well. The Endangered Species Act in 1973 required an environmental impact report before any new buildings were built on certain types of land, and the Clean Water Act in 1977 and the Superfund Act in 1980. At this point, Americans started to realize that the world that they lived in did not have infinite resources. One of the things that made them realize was the moon landing. For the very first time, Americans were able to see what the Earth looked like from somewhere outside in the universe. It made them feel like the Earth was more fragile when viewed from outside of it. Finally, here's a recap. The United States looked to increase its energy independence after the oil embargo in 1973, and environmental disasters prompted government action and regulation of environmental use of natural resources. So at this point, we're still in a pattern where we're using the government to try and solve societal problems. It's going to start to see a change in the future lectures and a backlash against this, of course, when dealing with societal problems. Thank you for watching. If you would like to watch the next lecture, you can click the video link on the screen. And if you're looking for more practice to help you on the AP exam, you can visit apushslides.com. I wish you the very best in all of your studying and look forward to seeing you back in the next lecture.